comic book fans? I am Connor Christensen here with a very special edition of 5 and 5. In fact, an episode of 5 and 5 where I may actually be under 5 minutes. It's my goal tonight. Anyway, Deadpool 2 comes out on Friday, so I'm going to tell you the top 5 Deadpool trades you should read either before, after, or during the film. Actually, don't do it during the film. Do it before or after. Anyway, let's take a look. Alright, kicking off the list, we're going to talk about a story that is not even a part of main Marvel continuity. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. It's the best-selling Marvel trade paperback of all time. It features Deadpool at his absolute craziest, where he, guess what, kills the entire Marvel Universe. He finally snaps. No one really knows why, although it is explained eventually, and he kills everyone. It's hilarious. It's the craziest Deadpool story you'll read, and it is insanely violent, like almost shockingly violent. So it's a great trade. If you're a new Deadpool reader, I kind of recommend starting here because it's going to give you a taste of just how crazy things can get. Alright, next up we got Deadpool Classic Volume 2 from the 90s. Honestly, in the late 90s, comics weren't that great, but Deadpool was actually a hidden gem among a sea of just shitty stories. This story is written by Joe Kelly. He kind of crafted who Deadpool is today. He's responsible for the sense of humor, he's responsible for most of the jokes, and the general jovial, nonsensical attitude of Wade Wilson. We've also got some art from Ed McGuinness, who is pretty killer. He's even working on the Avengers book that is out right now, so he is still a prolific creator. And this has 90s references galore, and who doesn't love the 90s? Communist Russia, probably. Alright, to be honest, these next 3 are so good, they're really just tied at number 1, but 3 and 5 doesn't have the ring that 5 and 5 has. So, our third number 1 choice is Deadpool and Cable Volume 1. This doesn't necessarily serve as the inspiration for the movie, but this was a comic that really saved the careers of both Deadpool and Cable. Both were coming out of a decade where they couldn't sustain a series on their own to save their lives. Literally. Marvel had made the idea of, hey, let's take Fabian Nicieza, the guy who helped create both characters, and let's give him a ongoing series with both of them together. You have the insanely comedic and hilarious Deadpool with the insanely stoic and never breaking through his serious ideology Cable, and it makes for a hilarious, awesome story. Volume 1, If Looks Could Kill, is a great starting point. It's a goddamn hilarious story, and this is actually the volume of Deadpool that kicks off the whole idea that Ryan Reynolds makes the perfect Deadpool. It's actually a joke in this series, which came out in 2004, well before Ryan Reynolds had made any plea to play Deadpool, so it's a must-read. Alright, and our second number 1 choice is Deadpool, the Complete Daniel Way Collection, Volume 1. Daniel Way had one of the best runs on Deadpool of all time. While it's not a very serious run, it's fucking hysterical. It's 4 volumes in total. Really, you could pick any of the volumes presented, but Volume 1's a great starting point. It's got fantastic art. It's hysterical. It explores the relationship between Deadpool and Wolverine, and it'll kind of help you understand the Marvel Universe as a whole at the time because it takes place during the middle of Secret Invasion, in which Deadpool actually plays a pretty key role. So not only is it a great jumping on point just to learn about Deadpool and really get a sense of his fourth wall breaking, insanity-riddled humor, it also gives you a good jumping on point for the Marvel Universe in its entirety. Also, this is the best use of Deadpool's multiple voices in his head, so it's worth reading just to get a sense of what it's like when Deadpool is actually crazy. Alright, and our number one choice for Deadpool trades you gotta read, we've got Deadpool, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Written by the most prolific Deadpool writer of all time, Jerry Dugan, who just wrapped up his, I think it was a 7-year run on the character with Deadpool 300 last week. It's really an amazing story. It manages to weave the typical hysterical, absolutely bonkers humor from Deadpool with a surprisingly weighty drama centered around Deadpool's past and the secrets he has, and even reveals that Deadpool, he's the daddy. It's also got Captain America and Wolverine joining Deadpool on his adventure, and those 3 make for some hilarious moments because you got the goody two-shoes Captain America, who he'll crack a joke, but it's normally a pretty dumb joke. Then you got Wolverine, who is not a goody two-shoes but hates jokes. And then you got Deadpool, who loves making jokes and really just wants to please Captain America. So it's a great dichotomy of 3 characters and a really, really well done story by one of the best Deadpool writers ever. Not one of the best Deadpool writer ever. Alright, and there you have it. Those are 5 trade paperbacks you should pick up at your local bookstore in honor of Deadpool 2 coming out this weekend. If you like these trades, go ahead to your local comic book store. Start picking up the ongoing issues. Scotty Young is starting off with the number 1 in June. It should be fantastic. Until next week, I'm Connor Christensen. This has been 5 and 5.